And good morning from Scotty Ray and Candace. How are you today?
I'm doing good. I'm just, trying to get woke up still, I think.
We have days like that.
There we go.
How did the lights, did that wake you up?
That wakes me up right there. Rise and shine.
Yes, it is. Forgot to hit the button again. But we are into Tuesday, and it looks like to be a gorgeous day. Is it already warmer outside?
It's warming up quick. It is. So, what's it going to be in the 70s?
74 today. We started out at 36 this morning, and it was chilly, to say the least.
It was this morning. I got up and let my little dog out, and it was cold.
It was.
I had to run out to the car and get something. I was freezing. I had my Ugg boots on.
You got Ugg boots?
Yeah, I had some little Ugg boots. They're comfortable.
We've warmed up 10 degrees since it all started, 46 now. And again, we'll hit that 74 by this afternoon. Not bad weather for a Monday.
Yeah.
No, it's Tuesday.
It's Tuesday, though.
No.
I was like, it feels like a Monday, though. I will give you that, Scotty Ray.
I don't know.
For me, it feels like a Monday.
I don't know where that come from. I'll just be honest with you about that.
I need to get more sleep at night. I need to go to bed at a decent time. That's my problem.
9:30 should be your cutoff.
Oh, gosh. I'm in the bed like midnight. I mean, seriously.
I don't know how you do that.
I got to get in the bed earlier.
So, are you cooking, cleaning? What are you doing that late?
No. Well, when
Can't
I get
sleep?
home, I hit the door running. Like, I start picking up everything in the house, and then I try to get some supper done. And, first I have to get my son, get his bath, shower. We have homework, and I'll fold a few clothes or something. And then when everybody's in bed, I got, maybe a little while that I'm just to myself.
Yeah.
So I like to be able to watch TV or whatever. I just kind of have to I have to wind down before I can go to sleep.
So. I don't know. In the last year, mine has changed. I used to have to wind down now, 9:30. Yeah. I'm gone. It don't matter what's going on. I'll go to bed on the couch.
Now, I end up falling asleep on the couch or something, like watching TV or something, and then I get up and go and get in bed. But anyway.
So that's how things happen.
Yes, but I need to make myself get in the bed earlier. So.
Worried about you. That sleep's important. Mm-hmm. Beauty sleep is what they call that.
Lord.
Good morning to Miss Joyce Godwin watching this morning. Also, Ed Mayoff, morning from Arundel. Glad you're on there with us, Ed. Hope everything's good down that way.
Yes.
Let's see. As we move through this Tuesday, we'll talk more about this tomorrow, but the dogs have been removed from the White House. Are you up on all that?
No, I have not.
Them two German Shepherds?
Why? What are they?
They bit somebody.
Oh. Well, they were like rescue dogs, weren't they, too?
Yeah.
So you never really know what.
So they sent him on back to wherever he come from. Where is Joe from? What state? I really never watched.
I can't believe I don't know, because every time he got on like one of the interviews or something, he'd always talk about his hometown and how.
I maybe have watched 10 minutes of any interview for him to stumble around. I've never really paid attention where the boy's from.
I don't know.
Connecticut or somewhere?
Maybe so. Yeah.
I don't know, but they are gone. Let's see. Linda Jane is up this morning. She's had a couple of cups of coffee there. And also, good morning to Elizabeth Trivet. Hope you're doing well today.
Yeah, we hope you are. I wonder who they bit, the dogs.
Security.
Oh, okay.
Somebody was yelling security, and they got bit. Now, I don't think it really hurt anybody, but they did get shipped on out the White House pretty quick.
You never know, though.
Trump was one of the very few presidents that didn't have a dog. Mm-hmm. And most people get the dog as to show that they're compassionate. Trump was just, I never had a dog. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah,
he was just plain spoken.
It's a lot of responsibility. I mean, I'm sure though the staff of the White House probably gets most of the responsibility, don't you?
And I bet you that what is it, the guys that run around Secret Service, I bet you they can't stand a jogger. And then when Joe come in, they're like, oh yeah, no jogging for us now. Because they got to stay with him regardless, If he jogs, they jog.
Well, they probably have to stay with him all the time. He might wander off and
There is no telling what goes behind the scenes that nobody really knows about.
Remind him where he's at.
Yeah, Joe this way. Anyway, some big news for a former Mississippi boy. This is great. Now, again, I quit watching football. I'm not going to watch it at this point. Maybe later on I'll change my mind and go back to watching a little bit of it. But for Dak, makes a deal with the Dallas Cowboys, a $160 million deal.
That's good.
That's impressive.
That's a chunk right there, isn't it?
Yeah. So he's got a good thing going there. Because, you know, it kept being rumored that they wouldn't make the deal. So, well, maybe they really don't want Dak, and they're just stringing him along. But he hit gold on that one.
Yeah, he did. Good for him.
So congratulations to him on that. And again, I've never seen Dak make any comments that I'm personally against Dak, because I think a lot of him. He's always been, you know, kind of like that guy you look up to for the kids wanting to play. There's a lot of them in the NFL I can't say that for. Yeah. And maybe I'll change my mind as time, a little distance comes between all this. It's just right now I can't do it just yet.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, I understand. There's you know, there's a lot of there's not a whole lot of role models at this point that kids can look up to.
That's right.
So when you have somebody that they can look up to, then I guess, you know.
Other news, and this hits a little bit closer to home, and I'm sure most people have seen it by now, but let's go to our Facebook page and show this. Shad White, the auditor for the state of Mississippi, has made an arrest out of Newton. Now, I'm not sure where this gentleman lives or anything, but he did work in Newton there at the Veterans Office.
Yeah, at the Veterans Cemetery out in Newton.
And basically bought some barbecue grills and was buying gas and a few other things is what his arrest comes in. A $29,000 price tag.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a lot of stuff that he was buying that was not tied to cemetery type stuff. And it was something else I read into it. I don't know. It was something that had to do with work days and stuff. There was stuff going on.
Being bought when they weren't working.
Right.
Yeah, I did read that.
Days, so.
And that started in 2016, and it was, I think he quit in 2019, but it was too late. The crime had been done.
Yeah.
And they have made an arrest on that. And that faces up to 20 years.
Yeah, a lot of that going on now. I've said before, I don't understand people thinking that they're going to get away with it. I mean, you might get away with it for a little while, but eventually
the cover up. And,
right.
you know, you've always heard that one lie leads to another line, to another line. It's better to face the music when it first happens.
Yeah. Eventually, you know, you're going to get caught, so.
And maybe this Shad White is just doing a better job than any of the previous auditors for the state of Mississippi, because he either promotes it more or he's doing more.
Well, a lot of times some people just don't take jobs like that as serious. You know, they're there for a paycheck, and you know,
right.
do what you want to do, and so it seems like he's taking it very seriously.
Yeah. And again, we want to say condolences on this. We got this yesterday morning. They broke the story at Clark County Hot Topics about the family that their home caught on fire. And again, it was 3 of them that passed away in that, believed to be a mother and a father and a 7-month-old child.
So tragic.
4 other people escaped the home and got out. It wasn't a mobile home there. And
it was a mobile home?
It was a mobile home. And what they done, and this goes back to what you've talked about, when you're cold, they had the butane bottle, you know, that you screw on, you have the burners. And when they screwed it on, it had a leak at the top. And when they lit it, the flames busted out of the top of it and caught curtains. And then it was too late to stop the fire. So when dealing with butane, you have to be, it's best to not even drag those in the house. I understand being cold. I do.
It's scary to me, dealing with any of that. Barbecue grills, I mean, anything that has to do with.
How many times have you went down to light a barbecue grill and you hit that flicker and then it goes.
Let me tell you.
It sends your hair.
Yeah, it's scary. So don't even play around with that kind of stuff, or don't really mess with it if you're not 100% sure of how to deal with it.
And dragging those in the house it will end up that way.
That's a tragic thing.
Do I have an answer for, you know, I wish I could sit here and say, well, don't do that, do this instead. I don't have an answer for that.
Well, I mean,
because when you're cold, you're cold. I get it.
Right. That's what I was going to say is some people, like I said yesterday, just don't have any other options.
Yeah.
So.
And it goes back to if you're not real sure what you're doing, don't touch it.
Right.
And that's probably, this is not 100%, this is just a guesstimation of that empty building that caught fire on B Street. Most likely had something to do with homeless or somebody trying to keep warm.
Yeah. I feel for people who are out there like that and don't have a place to go.
Well, you think of sleeping underneath a bridge and having nothing on but what you've got on you.
And regardless of, like I said the other day, regardless of what got them there, I mean, and I think I put it the other day, I don't care what got them there. I didn't mean it insensitive. Like,
I think we know.
Meant like,
it doesn't matter the reason.
Right. That shouldn't matter. They're there and people have compassion and
that's
help,
right.
You know, So anyway, I feel for people like that.
And the average person, more or less, you may get to save $100 a week, but the average person lives paycheck to paycheck nowadays.
Right.
You may have a little bit left over, but you think about that. After about 6 months of no job, where would you be? If you don't have family that would help pay your bills after 6 months of losing your job, where would you be?
Yeah.
The suck-up truck shows up, starts taking things.
Right. I mean, you could be a paycheck away from losing everything. You could be, it could just be gone in a heartbeat. You never know. So, and we take things for granted every day. I mean, just simple things like what we saw when we lost water and power. I mean, just.
And if you want a rags to riches story to read that makes you go, yeah, this is America, go back and read Sylvester Stallone. Read how he had even sold his dog because he had no money. Sold the dog for $50 because he had to eat in order to take care of it. He ends up having to buy the dog back for $5,000 later after he got money. But that guy went through some very hard times and made it. Just
there's so many people out there who, we pass them by, and I've done it. I do it. I've done it. But like when you're in heavy traffic and you're trying to just get in there on the street corner, you don't know their story. And
no, you
don't. You don't know. And so many times I've thought, I'd love to know. And I did one time. I sat down. I think I've said it before with a young boy. Of course, I got my husband to go with me, and I know he thought I was crazy. But I went back and talked to the boy. He was 17, and he just wanted a job. I mean, he had left home because of some situations at home that were not great, and he thought it was better that he get out of that. Yeah. And so he just needed a job and just needed a chance, and he didn't have a place to take a shower or anything. So we sat down and talked to him and prayed with him and everything, and he did eventually was able to get a job, and I checked back with him, and he communicated with us through text and stuff because he did have a phone, and of course I'm like, well, how you pay for this phone if you don't have?
Oh, I'm sure you do.
The questions that you would normally kind of want the answer to.
Right.
These people, well, how do you have a cell phone? Well, he had where you add minutes to
prepaid.
And people he said, I don't ask people for money, but people do, like occasionally they'll give me money and I go pay for minutes. I'll get me something to eat and I go pay for minutes. But he had not been out there a long time. I mean, he had not been on the streets a long time. But some of these people are out there for years.
Oh, I know. And some never get over it.
And some people make it a way of life, and they might choose to stay that way. And some people are out there really trying. So, and you never know. All you got to do is what God lays on your heart to do.
Don't be judgmental is what we're saying.
Right.
Good morning to Dylan White. Also, Donna Peebles. Good morning. And we are all so blessed. We are. Be able to wake up in America is the first blessing that every one of us have got here. And I know that occasionally we have people from other countries watching this, that, and the other, but America is still the land of the free and the home of the brave, regardless of some of the people that run the country from time to time that we don't agree with. It is still a great nation.
That's right.
Let's see here. One of the big stories that I don't care where you go, you're going to hear about over the next 48 hours or so is this deal with Harry and Meghan. I think most Americans, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong, are seeing this as two spoiled people who want to take advantage and maybe spread some lies for financial gain. Am I close to it, you think? Maybe not everybody agrees with that.
Yeah.
But her dad takes a swipe at Harry and says, he never played naked in a pool dressed up like Hitler. They've said some outlandish things. And the big thing, Prince Charles is out and about. Here he is right here. He goes out this morning after they're trying to claim they're racist. There's nothing to back this up. They will not say who said it, and they have no proof of it. It could have been somebody made up a story. It just goes on and on.
That's just a big...
it's a stink.
That's just a big bandwagon that a lot of people are jumping on right now.
Absolutely.
And I think they're just one of the people who are jumping on that bandwagon. And as far as like coming to the United States, I mean... nobody cares if your son is going to be a prince or wants to be a prince. Or, I mean, nobody in the United States, I'm not trying to be insensitive or act like, act ugly about it, but nobody cares about that. We don't have titles here in this country.
No, we do not.
And
why
get
didn't they
over
just
it. I mean, it's a news story for people to talk about, really.
Why didn't they just stay in Britain over there and just buy them a little castle there and mind their own business?
Yeah, I mean, she had already cut ties with her dad in this country.
Yeah.
And from what I understand this morning, I watched he said that he'll keep doing interviews. He's still trying to have something to do with her, but she don't want anything to do with him. He said that he raised her a good part of her life, that she lived with him, and that he had leaked a story or something about her, and he was sorry that he did that. He didn't try to do it, he said, for financial gain. Who knows?
Right.
But, everybody's got problems in this country.
We ain't got time for
we
that.
try to deal with our own drama.
I never even, I
We
never
don't know.
would have known that she was on, what was the suitcase with Howie that she used to be on? The suitcase thing.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Where
I would
can't
have
remember
never
the name
known
of it.
her from those other 50 girls that were back
Yeah, I
there.
didn't know she did that either.
Yeah, she was there, and but I
She
wouldn't have
might
known
be
it.
doing that again. I don't know.
No, with the money they got now.
Well, I don't know how much money they have, but they've supposedly cut They've cut them
Right,
off
but
financially.
this podcast and all the clothing and stuff they're selling.
Well, to me,
Now,
You know,
MC
you-
Hammer did go through all his money, so
well, you can go through money, but also keeping on, you kind of cutting your own throat. You might want to stop while you're ahead if you want to keep your
I can see
podcast
that.
going and all that kind of stuff. So, I would just shut my mouth and move on with my life.
they should. But we ain't done with them yet.
Yeah.
That's the unfortunate part. Now, we've brought up this story 2 or 3 times, and I bring this particular story just caught my attention because everybody's got a sister, they've got a daughter, maybe you don't get along, and it goes back to the homeless thing that we brought up. This was a girl in New York City that we told you was found dead a couple of days ago, and here's the headlines this morning from this. 2 homeless men are now charged with murdering this young lady who was 19, who was found wrapped up in the plastic. They think she was dead for a couple of days, but they have 2 men that have confessed to the murder. Now,
That's awful.
originally they said the boyfriend was not involved in it. And I don't think he's one of the 2 that's been arrested. They haven't released the names and all of that stuff yet, but at least there will be some type of closure for the family once they're all identified on that. It
That would
tugged
just be
at my heart.
heart-wrenching. That would be awful.
The Statler Brothers years ago had a song called New York City, where she goes off to New York City and she's all alone. Anyway, memory lane there.
You would love to have closure, but at the same time, you know that it would be an awful thing to have to come to grips
absolutely.
with what had happened.
So as we go to our next story, maybe you're involved in an incident and a wreck, and then people get mad at one another, and, well, sometimes they drive off.
Well, that's what happened to me.
See?
I couldn't jump on the side of the truck, though.
But this is the story on this one. This guy, he rode on the side of the truck. This was in Brazil. 19 miles he hung on the side of the truck. Here, look at this. The guy would not stop. He hit him on a motorcycle, and I'm not sure if it's going to show. Yeah, here it is, the front of the truck there. He hit him in the front, and the guy just drives off. So he's going down the road for 19 miles with his motorcycle hung on the front of that truck. They finally got him to pull over. That's the truck driver.
How did he get on the truck with the truck moving?
I don't know.
Was he still on the motorcycle while it was pushing him down the road, and he just climbed around or something? I don't know how that happened.
It's a wonder he made it.
It really is.
Because you made 19 miles, your arms got to get tired hanging off.
Yeah.
But that's what happened with that little story there. So watch who you bump into. Don't be yelling at them. People are nuts these days.
They are. You better
Especially-
stop if you know you've hit somebody. You better stop because
Yeah. Another, and you've heard stories about this all your life, about a snake maybe getting into the septic tank. And, well, you ever been into a home and I've seen snakes get above doorways. So if I go into an old home now, I always stick my head and look up instead of, because they'll lay across that thing up there, and it's messed with my head when I was
Well,
little.
they have. One of my clients said that there was one fell out of the fireplace.
Well, there you go.
Too. So that's scary.
But the next time that you get the urge in the middle of the night and you don't turn the light on, this is just an example of why you should always turn the light on and look. And this is like creepy. If this was a cobra, look at this. Where is he? Let me F5 this so it'll show this old boy. Because it
made me not want to get up. I
yeah.
like to turn every light on in the.
Do you see that? That's in the bottom of the toilet.
Oh gosh.
Now, if that
makes
won't,
my skin crawl. I hate snakes.
think about sitting on that in the middle of the night.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
I would say that you probably wouldn't make it out. A cobra would kill you, but look at that. And the guy just flushes that away instead of killing it. There's no way.
You know it'll come back.
Yeah.
I mean, why would you flush it?
So, there you go.
back.
Does that give you the willies?
Yes, it does. I don't like snakes at all. I hate them.
What was that old song? I don't like spiders and snakes, and that ain't what it takes to make you love me.
Some people go, oh, don't kill that one. That's a good one. It kills other snake. I don't care.
There is no good snake.
Yeah,
Let's just go ahead and get that out there.
Because it don't matter what other snakes it kills. It will bite me. Regardless if it is going to kill me when it bites me. It's still going to bite me, and I don't want snakes.
I've always heard the king snake is good, but I don't know a lot about snakes. I know they got circles, but snake is a snake.
Yeah.
And it will make you do the hoochie coochie dance.
Oh, yeah. I don't like
You can step and fetch when you run up on one of them. Good morning to Linda Culpepper this morning. And don't forget to share our page and like, if you wouldn't mind, as you're going about your business today. Let others know that we do exist out here. I don't know how to, this other story that comes up this morning, I'm just going to pull up the headline because I don't know how to word this. Watch a man that was infected with COVID, had something happen to him, and he got a blood clot.
Yeah.
And it killed him, graveyard dead.
That's a bad way to go right there.
Yeah. That was, what was that old song? What a way to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, you've heard of people having heart attacks.
That's awful, though. I mean, I hate that the man passed away because that was bad. But, I mean, was that a side effect from the COVID? That's a new one I ain't never heard of.
Yeah. How would you like the headline of your death to be that?
Yeah, I wouldn't. That would
Ouch.
not. There's a lot of side effects, though, but I would not. I knew blood clots were a side effect of getting COVID. You can get blood clots. So I guess this just says that they can go anywhere.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. This next thing, this is where we see all of this cancel stuff to where they're wanting to get Pepe Le Pew. They're getting rid of Gone with the Wind. They're getting rid of things that all of our cartoon characters and Aunt Jemima Serp. And I don't agree with all of that. But yet, on the other side of the coin, this is what happens here. Look at this. This is going on in Holland. Of course, it's another country, but this TV show is pretty much pedophile. I don't know how they're getting away with this.
Right.
But they let adults go in front of kids and get naked and let them ask questions about their body. Now, all of this is it's sick. Now, this is blurred out, but they would stand up in front of it, and then the kids, and that's young kids.
Okay, so you've introduced this method of whatever you're calling it, I don't even know, to these kids. So if they're ever confronted with an adult that shows themselves to them, how are they supposed to go about determining, oh, that's okay, but this is not okay?
Good point on that.
That's just crazy.
It's
insane.
It's sick.
It is sick.
But and I call it the left, and I don't know what you really call people that have these types of agenda that want to cancel this just because they don't like it. But this is definitely not right. But that's in Holland. That's not in America. And I don't want that to be anybody believe that I'm trying to say it's America. It's not. But what happens in other countries a lot of times starts easing here. And
well, my thing, I don't understand. I mean, I guess which sounds twisted, but I mean, I would have to see why are they asking questions? I mean,
yeah, is it like a?
What are they asking? What's that? I mean, have I got that?
Good question.
I mean, are they? That's just sick.
Yeah. It and doesn't need to happen.
No,
not in my opinion.
No.
So that's what's going on across the pond, so to speak. There, and LaWanda Grantham says a snake is a snake is a snake, and I tend to agree with her.
Yes.
Let's see. I don't have to replace a toilet. I'd be doing anything I could to kill that thing. I did. Then when we were little, we had a place called the Old House, which was down from where we lived in Scooba, where my grandparents' house was, and they used it for storage for a few years. And a snake was in the toilet in it. I'll never forget it. We had somebody visiting, and they went in there to go to the bathroom, and there he was with his head sticking up out of the toilet.
Lord.
And he was beat with a hoe, and the toilet destroyed.
I'd probably do the same thing. I don't like spiders, and I don't like snakes. And my mama did not like spiders because this is a funny thing. My mama would probably kill me. But my mother wore fake eyelashes when we were growing up.
Yeah.
And so she would take them off at night and put them in the bathroom. And my mama thought they were spiders.
She beat her
She
fake
beat her
eyelashes.
eyelashes. She thought they were spiders. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's funny. I had to just tell that story. But snakes, yeah, I hate snakes. A lot of people will say king snakes are a good thing to have.
And they do eat other varmints, but man, let me tell you.
Yeah, my thing is, like you said, how do you determine? I mean, unless you're a snake expert, because I've had people say, oh, if their
Has to do with the head.
Their eyes, if they have that little diamond thing, they're poisonous.
It's supposed to be a square head, isn't it? But I never looked that close.
A diamond-shaped head is supposed to be poisonous, I think. But who's going to get that close? You know,
have pistol, we'll shoot.
Right.
And you watch all these TV shows to where they go put them back out in the wild. That's just letting them go bite somebody else, isn't it?
Well, supposedly down in Florida, wasn't it in Florida where there was some kind of a zoo of exotic animals and snakes or something? Maybe something got like during one of the hurricanes or something.
That's possible.
And all those snakes got out, and so there was like a bunch of different kinds of poisonous snakes and exotic snakes that are now probably out breeding. I would hate to know what was going to slither up to you in Florida down there.
Florida got some boogans. Don't be wandering off in the swampland. That ain't my type thing. Yeah.
And I don't know. I never understood people want pet snakes.
I know people that do it though. And then they go buy the mice, drop it in there, watch it, eat it. I'm like, nope, not me.
Me either.
Ain't my sort of thing.
Because they will kill you.
Yes, they will. Well, down at the farm supply, you're not going to find anything like that. Matter of fact, you'll find snake repellent down there to run them off. They got some of that.
I'll be down there later.
Spring is here, and they're already getting the flowers and everything ready to be planted. If you hadn't gotten your seeds yet for your gardens, go down and talk to them. Everybody's starting to break ground, get ready for this as it comes about. And, of course, all your trees that you're going to be planting to make your yard. Is it beautify your yard? Is that the way I put it?
Yeah, beautify it.
Beautify it. There you go. Also, spring right around the corner with all your insecticides. And also down there on that bottom shelf there, you can go look for it there. That's that snake repellent to run them off.
Snake glue trap.
Woohoo!
I don't know about that. I don't like them
glue
mouse traps either. Where you
got to pick them up.
Yeah. No.
Mothballs, they got those also.
Yeah.
Disinfectant. Plenty of cleaner to keep you going there at the farm supply. Drop in and see them there on that. Of course, T-shirts if you need that. If you need some new overalls. Overalls are the most comfortable thing that has ever been made. And more pockets than you know what to do with. And they've got them there for you at the farm supply, along with boots that are waterproof from Georgia Boots. Plenty of styles to choose from. And mud boots. As we go through there, still heaters there to keep you warm there if you've got some outdoor events on these cool nights that we have. And cameras for security. If you're needing this to mark your yard, if you've got a particular area you don't go back and forth a lot, you can put it at gates. It'll take pictures. Also, all of your seed and feed. If you need some wheat, they got all of that for you. And horse and cattle feed.
And they also have fish feed.
Yes, they do. If you got a pond, take care of that. Guns, ammo, it's all there at the Lauderdale County Farm Supply. Drop in and see them today. Save yourself some money. Exit 151 off the interstate.
The carnage is coming to your town. The All-Star Monster Truck Tour. See the biggest and wildest monster trucks do battle on a huge course. Plus, see the monsters up close, enjoy the kids' fun zone, and take a ride on a real monster truck. Kids' tickets are just $10, and adults can save up to 60% on tickets. Don't wait. Earlier you buy, the more you save. Get your discounts by clicking here now.
Make sure to come on out and check it out. Why not this weekend? You'll have a lot of fun there with Rodney Wing and all the gang there. It is Tuesday. As we said, we're warming up, nearing 50 now. Goodness, 74 for the high.
It's climbing up fast, isn't it?
Yeah. So if you've got some outdoor, and boy, am I noticing the grass growing, jumping.
Yeah, there's already people out cutting grass. I guess we'll be next.
If you hadn't started yet, your time's coming. What was that? Never mind.
What?
I was trying to remember an old song, too, that dealt with that. Who remembers Mickey Gilley?
I do. I remember.
Well, it's Mickey's birthday today, and if we're doing our arithmetic right, how old is Mickey today?
I think he's 85.
Mickey Gilley. So this was back in the height of his career, probably 1980, about when Urban Cowboy came out. And you made the comment, I wonder what Mickey looks like today. So, well, we dug up a picture, and this is what Mickey Gilley looks like today. Let's pull that up there. Here's Mickey here. And that's not the right page there. I don't know where Mickey went. But anyway, he looks, oh, yeah. Well, yeah, Mickey. There he is. He looks a little different than he used to. to say the
he
least.
does. I just can't believe he's 85. I mean, that just doesn't even seem possible.
Yeah, it just this Mickey Gilley. He's just one of those
He
timeless.
was always a handsome guy, though.
So put your dreams away.
He
Stand
had that
by me.
Gilley's, didn't he? That Gilley's
Yeah.
bar, wasn't it? A bar
Largest
type thing?
nightclub in the world.
Yep.
And I want to say it burned down.
I don't know what happened to it. I just remember hearing about
It was in Pasadena. So I think those days are gone. I think it went up in smoke. And Billy Bob's is probably now the largest honky tonk that's left.
Okay.
Never been there. It was, I know you weren't there and I weren't there, but it was 1959 that America got to see this young lady for the first time. Barbie made her debut.
Yep.
And that's
I had every
big.
kind of Barbie, I think, when I was little.
So will they start making dolls transgender? Just a thought.
Who knows? They'll have a cross-dressing Ken and I'm and all that. Probably. Who knows? I'm just so tired of all that mess.
1981, Dan Rather, well, he took over as primary anchorman on CBS, and I'll never forget the night that I was watching during the, I think it was the first year that Bush ran. And he said that Bush was rolling through Dixie like a tornado through a trailer park. I'll never forget that. I said, go ahead, Dan. He just put it in regular man's terms. But he did sweep Dixie. As we go to this, and you don't think about these things when they began, but it was 1985, the first of this became a highway sign, the adopter program, to where people went out and picked up trash.
Yeah.
So if you've got time to kill on a Saturday, get you a mile there, and they'll get you a sign there, and your club can pick it up.
I saw somebody, I don't know if it was their property or whatever, but yesterday morning they were walking along early in the morning cleaning up. So people don't care. They'll just throw anything
So
out.
did you, as a kid, used to go pick up aluminum cans, try to make extra money?
No, I didn't do that.
We did that. That's all you could do in scuba.
I didn't do that, but
Cutting
there's a lot of
grass
people that still do it, There's a guy, the cans
Yeah.
for kids guy that goes around collecting cans. So,
What's that? It's
it's a good
Todd's
thing.
dad.
is it?
I believe so, if
Okay.
I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
But that does a good thing for the
It
kids.
really does, yeah.
It's called Can for Kids, if I'm not mistaken.
Cans for kids. He has a truck that he has it on the sides of the truck, the name, and he'll collect cans from anywhere. I'm sure, like, if you wanted to collect cans at your home, bag them up, I'm sure he'd come by and get them.
Yeah.
I would think. So,
I
anyway.
think that's what my mother-in-law does. Do you remember this from 85? I can't fight this feeling.
Oh, yeah.
You go around humming that?
I mean, well, it'll be stuck in my head all day now. 'Cause now I'm thinking of the song.
Oh, I remember it well. But 1985, boy, that's been a long time ago. And this man done so much in his career, passed away at 100. And, I always had him pictured as what he looked like that last 20 years. But there was a time when he was a young man. And George Burns passed away on this date back in 1996.
He always had that cigar.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
And he proved that, well, smoking doesn't kill everybody.
Yeah.
It didn't. It's and that is funny how that affects to how you have some people that have never smoked a day in their life and they get lung cancer. Then you take somebody that smoked every day of their life, doesn't get it.
Right.
They have
I don't
proven
think it's
again
good
that
for you,
cigarettes
but-
do cause it, but
Yeah.
I don't know everything.
Yeah. It can't help.
No, I would think not. A sad day back in 2005 when Chris Ledoux, he also passed away on this day.
Now, what happened with him? It was kind of sudden, wasn't it?
Yeah, he had some form of cancer, if I remember right. And it's not written there what he died of.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
it was
remember that
some
when he
form of
passed
that. And of course, this Cowboys hat, that was one of his greatest. If you've never listened to that, go back and listen to it. Of course, Cowboy Ranch and all that was good. But Garth Brooks put him on the map when he mentioned him in worn-out tape of Chris Ledoux. Lonely Women and Bad Booze. Can't help but
He was
remember
a big
those.
rodeo guy, wasn't he?
He was. I want to say he won several titles, if I remember right.
Okay.
Ledoux always just seemed like he was one of those just good old boys.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. As we look at this was released by the CDC yesterday, and again, you scratch your head. For just a couple of days ago, they were saying we had to have 3 masks.
And we were, Neanderthals.
Yes, yeah, here in Mississippi. They're now saying that America can gather without mask if you are vaccinated. Now, I'm sure that they're going to put guidelines of how many people can be there, but this is the headline that come out of this late yesterday afternoon. So I guess that means we can go back to church now without them jumping up and down and hollering.
I guess so they're wanting everybody to be vaccinated
Correct.
within the group.
Correct.
I guess that's an incentive to get everybody to go get it if they haven't gotten it.
But most comments on Facebook were, they people are still heavily against the government telling them what to do.
Yeah.
There's no shadow of a doubt of what people believe and what the government can tell you to do.
Well, it's like I said the other day, when everybody didn't have insurance back when Obama was in office, they got fined.
Correct.
They had to pay a fine.
A fee.
Or a fee, not a fine. That's like jail.
Well, it is. When you done your income taxes, you had to pay a
penalty. You had to pay that. And so, now I said they haven't started it yet, but I wouldn't doubt, if at some point, if people are not vaccinated, I would not doubt.
I don't doubt that either.
They have not said this, but I wouldn't doubt if there was some kind of like a penalty.
Yeah,
Which I think it's wrong. I think it's wrong that you penalize people if they don't have insurance. Yes, everybody needs insurance, but you know what? Everybody can't afford insurance.
What's your choices of? I'm going to
to
buy groceries, or are you going to go buy this expensive insurance each month?
Look, I didn't have insurance for years, and I just prayed I didn't get like majorly sick with something.
Right.
And I put off a lot of things for years.
You have to.
Yeah. Because I couldn't afford it. I mean, I was doing good to get my bills paid, and when I called and got how much premiums and all that stuff was going to be, I was floored, and I thought, there's no way. I mean, and you have to enroll at certain times and open enrollment. I did get some kind of a thing one time, but it was more or less a savings plan, which I went ahead and got it because I thought every little bit has to help. But that was still $200 and something a month.
Yeah, and when you're on budgets, $200 is a lot of money.
So anyway,
as we try to recover. Don't forget, this is coming up tomorrow in Meridian. If you're needing a little help there, they're giving away food again at the Lauderdale County Agri Center from 11 until 2. And again, get there a little early to get in line to get your slice of this. At the Ag Center again tomorrow. Make sure you're there.
Yes, it's a good thing. Thank y'all for doing that. We appreciate people doing stuff like that to help people out.
We'll monitor that to make sure that it's still going to go on. I know there was one a couple of weeks ago that got canceled, but that's still on as of this moment. Is this enough troops? And I bring this up because of this. All right, we've got how many? 10, 12,000 or more soldiers in Washington, D.C. right now?
And they didn't, not too long ago, they ordered more to come or something. I don't understand. That to me makes no sense.
Minneapolis has only 2,000 at this trial that has taken place. And we know there's, without a shadow of a doubt, there's going to be protests and riots of some sort.
Right.
Remember the town got burned and things were little. Wouldn't you put more than 2,000?
Well,
I would think.
Yeah.
I'm glad the 2,000 are there.
Well, and two, we know it's not going to be pretty if things don't go certain ways. We know
Correct.
It's not. And so we pray that these guardsmen stay safe because people can get crazy.
But I don't think you could survey anybody in America and think that cop's going to get off. He's convicted before he walks in. And I think, am I right?
Yeah, he should not have done that.
No,
that was.
But I'm saying I think most
wrong.
Americans know that he's going to get jail time of some sort.
Well, I think they had said that the George Floyd guy had a lot of drugs in his system, though.
Right, they did say that.
That I don't know how that all plays into whatever happened, but this was blatantly wrong.
And I think he's going down for it.
Yeah.
I don't think you could get anybody to say that he's going to get off scot-free on this. But we'll watch. Yeah. A Florida man has been arrested for the death of his wife. It was one of those plea deals to where if I marry you, if you'll marry me, I'll do this for you. Got her a green card, and it was to take care of her mother, I believe is where it was. Yeah, this guy was going to take care of this girl's mother if she married him. He killed her on their wedding day. And then tells the cops, well, you can't find the body. He buried her in the backyard. They found her within no time at all.
Crazy.
Now, again, it's suspicion. They haven't proved it, but they're pretty sure that he is the one that's done it. Citizenship.
That's just crazy.
Her mother had dementia is what she had. And that's some bad people. 66, 40.
So her mother had dementia, and she married him
so that he would help take care of her because she didn't have a lot of money and for citizenship into the United States.
So where's the mother, I wonder?
Good question. I would say Mama got shipped back.
Yeah, I hope she wasn't there because she'd like to be buried somewhere else.
He's a bad fella.
That's just
not
crazy
the most
people
handsome
in this
fella
world.
that you would bump into on one of those dating sites either.
Well, this is what I'm getting, these dating sites.
Yeah.
People, And I read this too, because this is scary too. People you meet on the web, whether you're trying to sell something or
Right.
date somebody or whatever, you cannot be too careful. And I read last night, it was on Facebook, somebody had shared it. This girl's boyfriend, and he was young. I don't remember his age, but young. And he had gone to Louisiana to meet somebody to sell, I want to say it was a motorcycle, dirt bike or something. I don't know. He was going to sell it. He'd met the guy on the buy, sell, and trade site somewhere in Louisiana. Yeah. And then he was missing for 24 hours after that, and they found him. He'd been murdered. And so not too long ago, that was an issue. My son was going to ride with one of his friends, and we're just going to West Point, and we're just going to do this, And I wouldn't let him go because it made me nervous. I said, you never know. It was a deal like that.
The man from Columbus that went to Tuscaloosa to buy a watch was murdered.
Yeah, I mean, you don't know who you're talking to on the other end. You can't be too careful.
No, you can't.
And, they'll say, we're going to meet in a public place and all. Well, you might meet them in that public place, and they might follow you down the road.
Yeah, we've all seen Charlie's Angels. We know how that ends.
You don't mess with stuff like that. I mean, people are crazy, and they'll kill you over a pair of tennis shoes nowadays.
Yes, they will.
So, I just...
The governor of New York, regardless, is not going to step down. As many times as they ask him to, he's not going to do it. He did sign a bill this week that relieved himself of the emergency powers that he had to enact for the government. Those have been stripped away now, so things are going to probably turn around for New York now. He had made some things to where most restaurants could go back to 75% except in New York City. Mm-hmm. We'll see how long that lasts.
Yeah, I do think they've made... Which I'm not saying, I think something should have been made of the sexual harassment stuff, but that's kind of overshadowed the death thing.
Correct.
It's kind of like they forgot about all these people that died, which we still don't know how many.
Yeah. There was some hanky-panky that went on there of hiding numbers, and if he'd handled that differently, Trump made every effort to help him there in New York. He just wouldn't take the help. Mm-hmm. Now, will there be an investigation into that? I don't know.
Well, I sure hope that they...
But there's rumored that there will be an investigation to that of the nursing home cover-up. There's no other way to word that other than that.
Can you imagine each one of those people, if they pursued it, could get him for...
It's almost, a degree of murder. And it says here that 50% of all lawmakers want him to resign. Mm-hmm. Now, again, he has said time and time again, I'm not. He said, start the impeachment, I think was his exact words on it. He ain't going, not peacefully.
Well, he probably thinks if he resigns that he's saying he's guilty.
Right.
Which he probably, possibly could be, so.
In a court of law, proven you're innocent until proven guilty, but there's a lot of women speaking up. Mm-hmm. But just because, y'all know how that story works.
But you know what? Actions speak louder than words, and just the way what he's done says a lot.
Right.
What he has done that you have seen. Just the nursing home stuff to me is enough to.
You would have to have an investigation because, after you got into that Brett Kavanaugh, none of that, all those claims sounded bad in the beginning.
Well, she wasn't even a legitimate.
No.
Somebody hired her pretty much probably to go in there and say all that mess.
Yeah, it didn't hold water at the end.
Yeah.
There's several of them that didn't. Mm-hmm. As we continue to watch this cancel culture here, Space Jam 2 has dropped Pepe Le Pew. And, of course, if you remember the original one, Pepe was a major star in it. Mm-hmm. Now out of the picture altogether.
Yeah, and that he won't be in any other movies. I guess they'll take him out of anything.
Just looking at Dumbo, I think is gone because Dumbo done something that somebody thought was racial. It's going to keep on to where they invent the characters they want you to watch, and I don't even know what to say anymore.
Well, we don't even go to the movies anymore really much.
Hollywood has spoken out so much that I hate to even support them.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense. Everything is so backwards right now.
Used to, you could go to a movie and escape whatever your sorrows were, bad times, good times, into a different world for an hour and a half. You could sit there and just be somewhere else. But they've been so outspoken and tell you how to vote, and people are sick of it.
They are sick of it. And, I'll continue to let my kids watch what I think.
Yeah. As long as you got it, eventually they'll come take it from your house.
I know. I wish now, how many of y'all had VHS tapes?
Yeah.
I wish I'd have kept all those VHS tapes that I got rid of years ago that had all these Disney movies and all that stuff. Because we still have a old VCR, we could pop it in, and you can transfer those VCR tapes, the VHS tapes to DVD.
I just gave away DVDs galore this week.
Did you?
Yeah, you know, and I don't know what happened to the VHS because we had them. Every Disney movie there was.
Yeah.
At one point. Well, bikers are arriving there in Daytona this week for Biker Week. They're expecting 300 to 400,000 to show up, typically $500,000. So, putting some revenue back in Daytona is what that's doing.
Good. That mask, is that a mask that guy had on?
Yeah, that's
skull-looking thing?
That's exactly what that is.
My son's got one of those, whatever, those things you pull
face.
up. The little thing that go around your neck, but you pull it up.
Yeah.
It's not a mask like everybody else wears. But anyway, it's
like
got
a handkerchief type
it's
thing.
got like a skull thing on it. It freaks me out when he puts that thing on, but I didn't know what that was.
Yeah, that's what that is.
It's like a costume mask.
I don't know if anybody has seen this yet, but Rush Limbaugh's death certificate. And it is out, and it was listed his occupation as being the greatest radio host of all time there. I think that's pretty neat that they put that on his death certificate.
Yes.
And Rush still missed by many, many, many Americans. The radio show will continue. They have not announced who will be taking Rush's place permanently. I'm sure it'll be somebody this good. Even probably one of those that filled in for him. So did you ever go to New York back in the day when it was safe?
I've never been at all.
Have you ever had girlfriends go and come back with pictures of the Naked Cowboy?
No, I haven't. I don't think I didn't see any pictures of the Naked Cowboy, no.
I remember when this first broke, we were on the air, and I was like, what is this guy doing? Well, he's become famous and makes a lot of money at it. He's gone to Daytona to cash in on the bikers coming, and he was arrested for panhandling, for excessive panhandling is the way they put it there.
I don't know how well he would be welcomed by the bikers. I don't know.
I don't know either. That's a good thing. Naked Cowboy walking around their women on their hog.
I don't
Could
know.
be a scrap, but I don't get into that either. That's just one of those kind of
He
bothers.
just walk around and play his guitar?
Yeah, for tips.
Okay.
You've been
Here's you a
to
tip, buddy. Go get you some clothes.
you've been to New Orleans where the winos sit on the street corners
Yeah.
and beg. It's the same, basically the same thing. So there you go. That's a few things happening across America this morning. And with that also comes, your time to cut grass, as we mentioned earlier this morning. And the folks at Freeman Tractor invite you by for a test drive. If you hadn't done your grass in a while, just getting ready for it, hadn't cranked yours up, needs some work, they'll do that. But also, Cole and Buttermilk are there to help you with a brand new lawnmower to get you fired off into the 21 season just right. They have the X-Mark starting at $29.99. A great deal on these. They're great lawnmowers, easy to operate. It's one of the greatest things you'll ever add to your yard, your arsenal. Is that the way to put it?
I guess, yeah.
Arsenal, your yard mowing abilities there.
But they do make all the difference.
They do. And, of course, they also carry the Skagmore starting at $46.99, depending upon which model you want. What you do, if you do this for a living, you might want one of these Skags. They're great lawnmowers. And, of course, several different models to choose from Cheetahs to the Tigers. See them. They'll show you there. And, of course, plenty of tractors to choose from. The LSs, cab, air conditioner. They can also get you fixed up with an open cab, a little bit cheaper there if you want to just use it every so often. And also you can get those bush hog attachments to go on the front to where you can just drive up and squish down anything.
That's what we need.
Yeah, it's handy now.
We do need that.
And, of course, traditional bush hogs, you're 5, 6 foot. And if you want to step on up and take care of a huge pasture with a bat wing, they've got those. These are galvanized, which will keep them from rusting. Very, very nice. As you keep going here, of course, you've got your disc. If you're needing a blade there to work your driveway, and if you got a gravel driveway, a must to have one of those. And, of course, forks. Boy, you can use forks from hay to picking up stuff around the yard like you would be amazed how much you'll use something like this to move things. And, of course, the benchies. If you haven't seen this line of ATVs, 0% financing for up to 60 months. They sold one of these this week. They can get you one, though, if you want one with cab, air conditioning. No matter the season, you won't get cold or hot. It's got a lot of features that you'll like. Here's the 550. Plenty of room in that. If you want to step up to a 750 with a little bit more power, plenty of those, and different colors and styles to choose from. You'll find it all at Freeman Tractor, from, again, servicing your lawnmowers, your tractors. See Cole or Buttermilk, and they'll help you there. Pick out a lawnmower that's exactly what you need. For sure.
Yes, it is. I recommend having 2 sets of blades for your lawnmower.
Swap on, swap
Yeah,
off.
yeah. So you can have one on there, have the other ones be sharpening them, have them ready for the next time.
Yeah,
I mean,
that
it
is.
just- yeah.
It saves time, especially when you're amongst it, when you're out there. How many times you've been cutting grass and then it's just dull?
I know.
Doesn't look like you've cut it, but
Yeah,
beating it.
right.
So that's where we are today. And again, we want to say thank you for spending part of your day with us today. We do appreciate that. We'll be back tomorrow morning, bright and early. Say 8:30.
Yeah, 8:30. More news stories.
Yeah. So join us then, and we'll be back then. Thank you again for being part of us here with Scotty Ray and Candace. Whoop, whoop. Wrong one.
Scotty Ray's Weather is brought to you by